Hey everybody, it's Guinevere and I'm back again. It's amazing because it's hard for me to find the time, but I am back. And I decided I would come back to kind of be your spiritual glee club and focus some attention on different things that we can do together that will raise energy inside of ourselves, inside of the world. So I'm actually going to start this with my Merkaba. Okay. Now I'm going to explain a Merkaba a little bit to you. I do want you to do your research and look up Merkaba, Merkaba. So Google it, find out about Merkabas because they're a beautiful sacred geometry. Now, I'm going to hold mine up for you so you can see it. It's a singing Merkaba. So it's made from crystal quartz or some sort of special, I'm guessing, secret combination of things. And I use this usually if somebody's with me to help them balance their energy and attune to their higher power and energy and resource. So here it is. I've backed up so you can see it. Now I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to stop it right there so you can see it better. Now you might notice it's two triangles intersecting, creating either you can call it the Aphrodite star or you can call it the Star of David. Okay. Now, what it represents is the saying, which I don't know if you're familiar with it, as above, so below. The concept of heaven and earth meeting together, and that if we experience or run into conflict here, then that it also is there. So we have the opportunity to heal both places through one focused thought. What I've noticed is the Merkaba has been up energetically inside the human field in a very powerful way since the solar eclipse, which was called the Lionsgate Portal Solar Eclipse. So that was a time period of, I'm going to use the term, the exchange of power between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So the calling forth of the divine feminine to step forward and the divine masculine to support the divine feminine, which is really beautiful. So we're going to start with me ringing this Merkaba. But before I ring the Merkaba, this is what I want you to focus on. I want you to know that right now, you and I, at this exact moment that you're seeing this, because what I'm doing right now is whenever you see this is when you're meant to see it, we are going to open a sacred energy between us. So when you see this, this is your support. It's my heart to your heart, and everything I share with you is in sacred order. So I want you to be able to bring in the brightest, most beautiful light that I am offering. So when I ring this Merkaba, I want you to see it, feel it, and hear it, and bring the image of the Merkaba spinning into your heart. See it spinning inside your heart. And then I'll ring it again, and you can see it spinning right here, third eye. And when you do that, I want you to see that you are a sovereign energy that's creating so much love, spinning in vortexes within your body that will engulf your home with love and spiritual vision. And then I want you to see that spinning energy engulf your neighborhood, and then engulf your city, and then engulf your town, your country, however far out you want to go. You can do the whole world. You can go as far as you want to go. I'm not going to limit you. I've done this meditation before, and I start in the home, and then I see the love and the spiritual light spinning throughout all of time and creation. Yes, you're allowed to do that. Blessing everything around you is a beautiful act. And that sovereign energy is your recognition of yourself as the as above, so below. Just as we look to the heavens, to one God or many gods and goddesses, they also exist within us. So we are as much the container of the sacred and the divine. So when you put that process into the world, you're putting something magnificent into the world. Okay? So here we go. And I really want you to enjoy. Remember, we're starting with the first spin. I'm going to ring it, let it spin through your heart, let it spin through your space, and go as far as your imagination can imagine. And then the second time, remember, from here. Okay? Here we go. Okay. Now, even if you feel like you're still kind of out there, it's okay. Just listen to my voice. Stay in touch with your heart if you feel like you still want to continue expanding from the heart. And now I ring, see your heart and your head connecting as one. And if you're somewhere out in your neighborhood or even your city, keep going. Ready? Here we go. And we all did that together. I want you to remember that not only did we do that together, but even if you're still out there, listen to my voice, come back when you're ready, and know that you can do this as many times as you want to. You can go back just to the beginning of me ringing it, or you can just see the visualization of it spinning in your heart and your mind. And I want you to remember that blessings abound, and you are part of that process. So you're going to hear the disembodied voice of my roommate Cami, because the question that was asked, I sent out a message to everybody saying, hey, I was thinking about doing another video and keeping up the good cheer for everybody. And does anybody have any questions they want to ask or propose about what I should do to be here fairly more regularly as we're going through different energetic shifts together, because I want to be here for you. And so one of the suggestions was from my roommate, Cami, and she said, how about I give daily updates on how you can best utilize your energy? And like I said, when you see the post is when it's relevant. So it's okay if you feel like, oh, wait, I see that was posted 27 hours ago or a week ago. It's relevant when you see it. Synchronicity is a magical process that you must trust. So I'm going to be doing that, and I'm going to try and stay true to it. But again, I am one person, and I still have to work, and I will do my best to do daily at this time. And so here's the question that was posed. So you're going to hear Cami's voice. I'm going to ask her to project so everybody can hear the question properly before I answer it. And it's from a beautiful woman named Catherine.
And Catherine says, I would love to hear about how you might suggest people can mesh the realm of spirituality into everyday life. I feel like I'm at a point where I've been questioning things as signs or validation from the universe, but I'm doubting myself. I want to branch out in new ways of being open to messages and helping others to heal. This is something a lot of people new to all this ask me about themselves. For example, I was reading about somebody who named each of her succulents after a friend, When one of the plants is sick, she checks with that friend, and usually they're going through a tough time. This is an awesome practical way to connect, I think. I know you have some awesome ways of picking up on energy, happenings, and even interpreting things like body language. And if you're open to sharing them via video, I would love that.
Now, first, you can see we started this video on a ceremony. I opened this with including you all as I spun the Merkaba for you to open your heart and the spiritual center of your third eye, or you can even open the crown, the very top of the head, with an image. A Merkaba spinning, a Sri Yantra spinning, sacred geometry that's circular or spiraling, spinning. A daily practice could be waking up first thing in the morning, setting intentions from your heart, from your head, where you send this beautiful spinning energy of love, not just for yourself and expecting a good day and beautiful outcomes, calling to you consciously your own spiritual path, but also, like I said, include your neighborhood, include your city. These are your closest relations, whether you like it or not. Even if you were like, well, they're not related to me by blood, you live amongst millions and billions, and the closest to you are in an influential ebb and flow of spiritual thought and energy. So consider yourself part of something greater if you start your morning on this meditation. So that's one way. Now, the succulents, I loved that completely. Once upon a time, when I was still living in California and I could basically grow anything without too much trouble, I named plants love, prosperity, healing, visions, enlightenment, and the ones that grew the fastest showed me where my work was the strongest. So if you want to use the process of plants, you can in fact send blessings through the plants. You can assign them specific intentions and names. The more clear you are as you set things in your heart, the better. So like the clarity of opening on ceremony, in every way in which you can greet the world from a ceremonial center, you are actually blessing yourself and everyone around you, which is a fantastic way of handling energy. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to open with this question is because it dovetailed perfectly into the work I was going to do today. So earlier I was in a meditative space wondering what kind of guidance I was supposed to give. If today was the day to give guidance about what you were supposed to focus your attention on, what would that be? So I go into my office to start putting on makeup and glamorizing, and I look out the window, and to my surprise, I see a turkey in direct eye line. This has never happened before. Birds do, in fact, visit my house, but they tend to be cardinals and towhees and crows, and sometimes when I'm super lucky, a woodpecker here and there, and I love it when they land with their beautiful red crest. But I'm so close to the city that wild turkeys don't come here. And today they came. And there was exactly 4 of them, to me representing the 4 corners, the visit from the 4 corners, that energy. So you can see that I'm in the process of doing ceremonial work. I asked the universe, what should my focus be? And then I was going to pull from my medicine cards deck to explain where the focus would be. And instead, the turkeys visited directly to my door. This is not an easy process. Do not put pressure on yourselves if things like this don't happen so quickly. In a way to truly receive these kinds of synchronicities from the universe, you must soften your souls. Whether you know it or not, the constant onslaught of demands that exists in our world has hardened you. The idea that people will use you for your love and your softness has hardened you. The idea that you have to be right to be considered good has hardened you. There are many areas where if you give in to the innocent part of you, the sweetness that lives within you, the honey, the nectar, that you're finally available to the gifts that wish to be received, but they can't break down these hardened walls to get to you. At the same time, it is key that you have boundaries. You can erect healthy boundaries and still be a sensitive, an empath, and allow spirit to access you. Obviously, in my line of work, doing readings and healings, I have to have healthy boundaries to be able to serve people. If not, I wouldn't be sitting here at all because it becomes incredibly demanding to the energy. So when I need my space, I take my space. When I need to rest, I take my rest. And sometimes that digs right into my financial ability to thrive. But I cannot let money be a motivating factor. I need to let true health be a motivating factor where I take the rest and rebuild myself so that I can continue to serve people. Why did I tell all of you this? If you're going to do what Catherine suggested so that you can open to the synchronicities of being connected to the universe or spirituality, to open yourself in daily ritual to make your life a spiritual journey, you have to find the parts where you're so tight in your energy, so closed that nothing can get in. And then you have to make sure that you pull those down gently, slowly and gradually, safely. This is a process. It's never something anybody have ever done does overnight ever, okay? And then you put up those healthy boundaries and you open a little bit at a time and honor every single sign you get. Because today I became quite blessed by these turkeys coming to my lawn and being right there. And I stood out there with them and they did not fly away. It was amazing. I filmed it. It is going to be posted. So when you go, why of all things did Guinevere post turkeys? It's because that is exactly what happened today. So when you see a separate video that just says turkey blessing, you'll understand. There's no dialogue. I'm standing there quietly and they're just doing what turkeys do. But I'm right there with them. I am 3 feet away from them. And the Tom gave me a lovely feather shake, which I don't think I got on film. I think I stopped filming at a certain point. And one of his ladies came very close and gave me that nod of approval. So, why turkey? What's turkey's guidance to you? Well, turkey is a very powerful bird of blessing. It is a bird that represents being grateful. It is a bird that represents giving generously of yourself. So the synchronicity was saying, first and foremost, at this time, looking out for each other with love and kindness, remember that you may have more than someone else has. Look out for them if you are in a place of abundance, to take that, I'm using the term juicy, to take that juicy nature and extend that kindness to somebody who maybe did not get out in the world to get the things they needed today, and you have more than your fair share. The turkey gives thanks for all they have and generously shares with friends, family, and community. That's a beautiful message. So that's part of the message of today. That's connected with the synchronicity. That's connected with the question that was asked, probably when I was outside flirting with turkeys, which is the wonderful magic of being available to recognizing you are not alone, that there are energies and spiritual forces that are witnessing you, dancing with you, asking for your song, asking for your heart to open. Sing a song every day. Sing a song in the shower. Write some sentences of the things you wish to intend positively for yourself and others. Don't just think of you. Think of the people you care for. Remember all the people who need you to be there for them. All these things are really important. Now, I did pull cards just because I thought it would be fun to add a little bit of flavor, and I only did 3. And again, yes, I have sniffles, so please forgive me. The first one was Rabbit, and Rabbit is about basically crazy logic. It's about understanding there's more than one way to live in this world, more than one way to see things. The long rabbity ears, the ability to hear what's not being said, the focus where they can see almost 360 degrees. I mean, like seriously, their eyesight means that they can see ahead, to the side, and slightly behind. Their range of view is to see it all. But if they're being hunted by a predator, they know exactly where their escape route is, but they never let on because they know if the predator sees where the escape route is, where the hole or the hide is, that it's going to get eaten before it makes it there. So they use their strategy to weave and dodge and be almost impossible to track. And then boom, they're gone like magic. Like, let me pull a rabbit out of my hat. How about the opposite? The rabbit just disappears. And I've watched it. It's really funny. Like when you see a lynx chasing a snowshoe hare in the snow, and then suddenly out of nowhere it's gone. And the lynx is like, y'all saw a rabbit around here, right? Like I had a meal. It was right in front. It was right in front of me. So use some of the crazy logic. Recognize that rabbits being a meal for many must always face its fear, but it uses its crazy wisdom to dodge and weave. And when the day that the rabbit is feeding others in the cycle of life, it is giving itself to its own sun god, its own creator, as it releases fear to essentially go away. Marley Thorn is the word for it. We also got wild boar and elephant. Wild boar represents God force, and it's interesting because hare or rabbit represents goddess force. So we got these two energies, right? One is about being sensitive and about being a little bit crazy, but in a fun way, and knowing exactly how to get where you're going, even if it doesn't look like you're taking the straight path, right? And then that masculine of boar is so powerful, intelligent, strong, and sturdy. And the two of them, which is really cool when you think about it, are mainly herbivores. So we got this masculine herbivore and this feminine herbivore. And the masculine, the boar energy that's like come up today, is asking people to really truly confront what they really want to do. So you've got this sensitivity and ability to dodge the disasters, and then you've got this wonderful confrontation of what you desire to do mixed with elephant, which is about using the ability to break down obstacles with the energy of Ganesh, a Hindu god, and the ability of the matriarch or the old woman or the grandmother energy that knows the way, that knows each drought that has ever happened and each time that a flood has blocked the way. The matriarch that leads the elephants knows the way through. So, your advice here is to be generous with each other, to use unusual ways to get through times if they're tough, if they're challenging you. It's time to be a little bit, listening, ear to the ground, paying attention to everything around you, and get ready to go where you need to go. The self determination and the recognition that matriarchs or older people actually may have been here before. Look at your history, look at the things that have happened before, and look at how change can suddenly be a blessing when we least expect it to. Change is a doorway. And so I believe we're standing in a doorway. I believe we're standing in a gateway. And I'm going to end this with a beautiful, beautiful sharing. I'm going to read it to you. It was during a conversation earlier today with a good friend of mine, and we were talking about the sacred. He is a beautiful Lakota man that I met when I was protecting the water over at Standing Rock. And I have to put my glasses on so I can read this aloud because I wanted to share it with you. And I asked if I could, and he gave me permission. First off, his Lakota name means runs before them. And it is pronounced Wichi Tok Abiyanke. Wichi Tok Abiyanke. So he decided to share that with us, which is amazing. And this is what he shared with me today. And I'm just going to read it to you guys verbatim. And I want you to take this as part of your synchronicity, what he wrote to me today, because this was after the sharing of the turkeys and after the sharing of much heartfelt exchange with each other. This is what he sent. And by the way, not being Lakota born myself, but being embraced by the Lakota, which is a wonderful blessing. Please forgive me if you speak Lakota and I mispronounce anything. I am not Lakota born. I will do my best, I promise. Wopila Tonka. Tonka is a big, grand, great, or huge. Wopila is like saying thank you so very much with tears of joy after so much suffering through harsh times. The Lakota are a giving people. Now, notice he sent to me the Lakota are a giving people on the day that the turkeys arrived, the 4 turkeys, which represent giving and generosity. So, this is a beautiful exchange. Lakota means ally, a friend when you are in need. Even down to the language is very sacred. And I've never heard two people arguing, speaking in Lakota. Never have. There is no word for goodbye in our language. We know the side of death and we greet it with honor when we face it. Toksa Akiwagni, Yen Tello, I will see you again. I will see you again. Never goodbye. That sharing was just so beautiful and so heartfelt. And again, I want you to understand that this man is very precious to me and a very sacred brother. I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you took something beautiful away. I hope I've lifted your spirits, and I will see you again tomorrow. I'm not saying goodbye.